guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV, here to give you a Sergio Aguero injury update. Now, yesterday we found out that Sergio Aguero is going to be out for another 1 to 2 months, and that's a bit of a shocker for all City fans. We really weren't expecting this. We were asking ourselves, is he going to be ready for the game against Wolves on Monday? Is he going to be on the bench? Is he going to start? And now we find out that he's going to be out for another 1 to 2 months. That's what Pep said, and that's caused, once again, a lot of frustration and consternation and anger on social media. And I, for one, have generally been looking for the last month or 6 weeks for reasons and explanations as to why we haven't done a lot of big business, why we've only got Ake and Ferran Torres in so far, and we did that business really early. What have been the problems? And I've looked at various issues, and I'll touch upon some of them in this video. But it's concerning me now with this Aguero injury. That's the latest of a series of disappointments, shall I say. Now, I've got to remind you, he got this meniscus knee injury, and he had surgery in Barcelona pretty much a day or two after he got the injury. Now, we don't know the severity, the seriousness of this injury, okay? We were told during the Champions League in Lisbon that he was, as I understood it, training in Barcelona. I'm not so sure how much training he was doing. He was recuperating, but I'm not so sure how much training he was actually doing. And we thought he could be coming back towards the end of the Champions League. Now, you've got to look at, as I said, how serious was the injury. Now, from my understanding is a more minor injury, you're looking at, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks recovery time and to get ready, okay? But a major injury, a repair surgery, now that can take 3 to 6 months. So which sounds actually more like it, because I think he got injured in July. So let's say he misses all of August. He's missed pretty much all of September. That's 2 months. So 3 to 6 months, another month or two at least. Now we're not 100% sure. People are debating whether he's going to be a match fitness, at peak fitness in a month or two. And he's going to play some games to get to that match fitness, according to what the interpretation some people have had of what Pep has said. Others might say, is it going to take him a month or two to be ready to play for the team? We don't know that. It's still up for debate. We always are there trying to read between the lines if something's not really explicit. Now, what's happened? We don't know what's happened, okay? Because unless it's a very recent setback, okay, the club, the medical staff and the board would have known several weeks ago. They would have known that he's going to take another, let's say, a couple of months, 3 months. Back in August, they would have known this, or early September. So what's going on? Has he had a setback? Were they bluffing us? Bluffing, not, let's say, the fans, are just bluffing the media, bluffing everybody by pretending that he was getting fit. We've seen him, his Instagram, was it last week, where he was actually training. Now, I did say, from what I saw, a picture, he's not training with the lads. So, it takes time. And I've said this as well several times, it takes time to come back. So first of all, you've got to, your training could simply be going swimming, for argument's sake, or doing some down the gym, lifting weights. Is that training? It's not doing anything to your knee. It's not load bearing. You're doing stuff to keep fit. That's part of training. So does when they talked about him training in July, is that what they were talking about? Or in August, sorry, is that what they were talking about? Then obviously once you start walking and start moving and taking some load, you're strengthening the knee, you're strengthening your legs, etc. So you're going to go through a stage where you will be like, I guess what he's up to now is gentle, light training. Then you've got more serious training where you're going to be doing some twisting the knee, taking some more load, and then maybe then training with the lads, where you are going to get knocked about. You're going to have some contact training, let's say, rather than, can you call it soft training now? Yeah, let's call it soft training, because you're not with other people, you're not taking big risks, you're bringing it along slowly. So that could be what's going on. As I said, the concern is we must have known, surely we must have known for several weeks at least that this is going to be something more medium to long term. What we don't really want to find out in a month's time. They say, well, actually, it's going to be another month or two, and it's going to end up taking the 6 months. Look, Sergio's 32 years old, so it does take a little bit longer as you get older to recover from injuries. But the concern is, look, and that's the point. Sergio's 32 years old, so at some point we would have needed a backup anyway. We would need a replacement. How long is he going to play at the top level? We could already see the decline in Sergio. He hasn't got the same burst of energy, that pace that would that sustained pace that he could get past somebody and keep him past somebody. We've seen him now where he'll get past somebody, get that initial burst, and then they'll catch him up on occasion. So he's not got what he had. He's 32. So you can understand that he's losing his pace, he's losing a little bit of his stamina. Okay, so we needed a replacement at some point anyway. And I've said many times, I don't want a replacement when Sergio Aguero leaves. I want it at least a season before he either hangs up his boots or we say, look, he's declined too much. Okay, now last season, okay, the injury aside, he had 24 league appearances, scored 16 goals. I think you take that. You look at and say if he was playing about 34, 35 games, he might score about 28 goals, 25, 28 goals. He'd have been Golden Boot winner. You wouldn't argue with that. You wouldn't knock that. So his stats are still good enough, but it's going to depend upon injuries and obviously form and fitness. So we need a replacement anyway. As I said, I don't want to wait till he's 34 and he says, I'm going to hang up my boots, and he's already too far down that path of decline, and then we get some kid in or someone 24, 25, and it takes them a season to acclimatise. We've seen that so many times. Cancelo's not hit the ground running. Mahrez didn't hit the ground running. Bernardo didn't hit the ground running. Rodri's not hit the ground running. Who has? No one's really coming in the last 2 or 3 seasons and hit the ground running. You take a little bit of time to acclimatise. You could argue Walker came in and actually he did all right, and Mendy before he got injured, he was okay. A lot of big name players have come in. They've not either settled or acclimatized either to a new country, to a new language, new whatever, new diet, new players, new formation, new systems, new tactics, and all that. Okay, but we see Bernardo's second season much better. Mahrez second season much better. Rodri by the end of last season much better. Cancelo at the end of last season a revelation in my opinion. So I don't want someone to come in and it takes them 6 to 9 months to fit in and to get and for us to find out yes they really are going to make it, because that means that season, what happens to that season if that's your new main striker? Let's say you get the man I've been asking for, Lautaro Martinez. Let's say he's your new striker, okay, but let's say it takes him 6 to 9 months to acclimatise and everything else. That could be your season gone. The way things are these days, you can't afford to drop too many points. I mean, Liverpool dropped only 15 points last season. You've got to be looking at 90 to 95 points, seriously, to win the league right now. And with a new striker, if you depend upon him and he doesn't score for 5 or 6 games, he can be winning those games. And look, we're still going to score loads of goals, but we need a clinical striker to replace Sergio when that time comes. And as I said, I want him to have at least a year with Sergio at a good level before kind of taking over. And that, I thought, would be this season. So why haven't we got a replacement? We need one anyway. Why haven't we got one? You cannot expect Gabriel Jesus. I don't expect Gabriel Jesus to be that replacement. For me, he's not a top centre forward. He's a good second striker. He's a good hard worker on the left. That's where I'd like to see him play a little bit more often. He's got that energy. He's got that commitment. A little bit offside too much, and he doesn't score enough goals. He's not, in my book, clinical enough. He's not there in the right place at the right time, which Aguero generally is. Sterling tends to be as well. And if you remember, I talked about Kelechi Iheanacho a couple of days ago. He used to be in the right place at the right time. You want somebody in that 6-yard box when the ball's presented on a play and just to tap it in. And Gabby Jesus, for me, isn't that man, regardless of how hard he does work. And also, if you did think he was that man, you can't expect him to play every 3 and 4 days. You can't expect any top player, any player to play every 3 or 4 days. Look at our schedule now. If we beat Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup, we've got 5 games in 13 days. Yeah, we're going to play on Monday. We're going to play on Thursday. We're going to play at the weekend. Now you could argue, yes, you can leave your main man out for the Carabao Cup. You can put play with a false 9 or play with one of the kids. You know, Cole Palmer, could stick him up there. Liam Delap, whatever. However you want to do it. However you want to do it that way. You can make adjustments, but there'll come a time when we're playing big games. Weekend and midweek. There will come a time when we've got Champions League. That's going to, be really important, crucial. When we've got 2 league games or 3 league games in 7 or 8 days, it's going to happen. Okay, in this concertina season, and you can't expect your top man to be playing. You need some support. So that is a concern. Whether you think Gabby's the right man or not, you can't be playing all the games now. It's an issue. There's lots of things to think about. Now, in the past, I've come up with reasons, not excuses, but potential reasons why we're doing what we're doing. Have we got the money to spend? Are we brassic? Now, fans seem to think that Sheikh Mansour is going to keep pumping money into the club. He hasn't done that for a few seasons, guys. He's not there buying players, putting money into buy players. We're a self-sustaining club. And because of COVID, I've explained in previous videos, you can go and watch them, about the finances, the black hole in our finances. Now, I've explained that we missed out on potentially about £40 million last season. 40 million quid of income. Our expenses probably haven't changed much. Our income dropped by about 40 million quid, or it will. Okay, trying to work the numbers out very briefly. We had that rebate to the Premier League. That cost us somewhere in the region of 15-16 million quid. We had the lost gate receipts. I reckon that's worth about 15-16 million quid. That's at least 30-32 million quid. Okay, maybe not the 40. We also lost the 9 million from going forward from the Chinese TV deal. I think we're losing 9 million a season from that. And if we don't have fans at games this season, we lose another at least, I reckon, 55 million quid. That's about, let's call it this season 65 million quid we stand to lose. We might lose a little bit of sponsorship as well. 1 or 2 sponsors who might have been interested in getting involved with City might not, because of the financial situation. That's 65 million this season, 30, 32, 35, whatever last year. Okay, that's got to hurt. It's got to bite. It has to. It has to, guys. And even with Sheikh Mansour's wealth, if he's not going to put the money in like Roman Abramovich has done at Chelsea, then we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. And do we need to sell first? That's a question I've asked before. So on one hand, we've spent 60 million, let's say, on Ake and Ferran Torres. Who have we lost? Who have we sold? Whatever we've done generally has been peanuts. I mean, Angelina's gone on a 2 million loan deal. That's peanuts. We've lost some high earners like David Silva. We've lost Claudio Bravo. So this is saving us on wages. It saves a lot of money. David Silva's probably on 200 grand a week. Claudio Bravo's probably on around 100 grand a week. And we lost Leroy Sané, and we got his money in as well. So obviously that's helped us. That helps us with our cash flow, helps us with our profit and loss account. It helps us enormously. But I think we've got to ship some more players out. Now that might mean Otamendi going out on the cheap. And this is one of the reasons I've suggested we sell some players on the cheap. Otamendi going out on the cheap, save his wages, save his and make not a profit, but we get that cash flow in. We make probably on Otamendi, if we sell him for 6 million, I reckon that'll be about break even in the accounts. Eric Garcia, I've said before, if he's not going to feature at the club, if he's not going to sign a new contract, should be playing. We should be doing our level best to get rid of him. And if we can get 15 to 20 million quid on him, it's not what he's worth. He's worth a lot more, in my opinion. But we should take that, save a couple of million quid on his wages, get that money in. Gives us cash flow, gives a positive number in our accounts. So that's going to help us. We might also see Fernandinho go. He's 35 years old, and I've said yesterday or the day before, what's he staying for? Pep wouldn't play him in the midfield last season. That was Rodri and Gundogan. Is he staying to be a centre back? Well, we just bought Ake, and we hopefully will get somebody else like Claudio Koulibaly, and we've got Laporte. Where does Fernandinho fit in? So now he's going to be behind Laporte, behind Ake, behind Koulibaly, let's say, at best is fourth choice. And realistically, if Stones stays and gets back into form, Fernandinho's fifth choice, at best. Is he going to be happy at 35 just to, sit around and be on the bench and play the odd game? Maybe he will. Maybe he's happy to do his coaching badges, play a few, games for the in the Carabao Cup or the early rounds of the FA Cup, the odd game in the league or the Champions League. Maybe he's happy with that, or maybe he moves on as well. So, do we have to sell before we buy? Okay. Also, have we got some kids coming through? If you think that during the Champions League or the end of last season, a lot of the more promising kids were training with the first team. Okay, when you can't play friendly matches, competitive friendly matches, then we would draft in some of the kids and they would train with the squad. I mean, some of them were already training with the squad anyway, first team squad, and also to help put on matches. So we've got people off the top of my head like Cole Palmer, like Liam Delap doing big things in the academy or the EDS. We've got exciting people like Jaden Braff, although Pep's kind of put the dampeners on him last season, and there'll be one or two others that probably escape my mind right now. We've got other players coming through that hopefully, like Taylor Howard Bellis and Tommy Doyle, who signed a contract extension yesterday, or I think it's 4-year contract. So have we got an exciting young talent coming through that the board or Pep is pinning some hopes on? Maybe has he seen something in someone like Liam Delap or Cole Palmer, think, yeah, this guy has got it, this guy's going to make it, I'm going to push him through this season. We don't know, we don't see them in training. But my suspicion is I doubt it, because we don't really give youth a chance unless it comes from outside. Yeah, look how hard it's been for Foden to come through. Look how hard it was for Garcia to come through. Look how hard it was for other players to come through. They really struggle. Look, we've got a top team, so it is going to be difficult. But we've got Ferran Torres from, he's 20 years old, from overseas, from Spain. I think he'll get plenty of game time. We've got Sane, when he was a kid, from Germany, he got plenty of game time. So, it feels like when we buy kids from overseas for a lot of money, we're happy to play them. Our own kids, we're not. That's an issue for another video. So, for me, it is a huge risk to go into this new season undercooked, underprepared. We've been training for 2 weeks for our pre-season. Under-rested. I mean, we've had less than 35 days, I think, since the last game to the next game, and that's supposed to squeeze in at least 30 days rest, and then probably 3 weeks of pre-season. So you're looking at, you want at least, I suspect, 50, 56 days. We've had 30 to 35. It's not enough, so we're under-rested. Potentially unfit. Sergio's unfit. Laporte's had COVID-19. He's not going to be fit for Monday. And Mahrez has had COVID-19. Its suggestion is he will be fit for Monday. And so unfit and without sufficient quality in key areas. A lot of fans are saying we haven't got that second striker. We haven't got the quality there. We haven't got a quality left back. Pep's talking about using Nathan Ake at left back. We haven't got that quality right centre back to partner and Eric Laporte or Nathan Ake. And that's obviously huge worries. So what are the board doing? This Aguero thing it's not pushed me over the edge, guys, but it's certainly focused my mind. It's concentrated my mind to ask the question, what is going on? And here's the thing: are we actually saving our, keeping our powder dry for next season for our striker? Are we going to say, oh, Haaland is the guy for us, but he's not available until next summer? Or Kylian Mbappe is the guy for us, he's not available until next summer? Or Lionel Messi was the guy, we were hoping to get Lionel Messi this summer. That would have solved not all our striker problems, but it would have solved a heck of a lot of striker problems. We could have played Gabby in the middle, put Messi on the right, or put Messi with KDB, supplying the front three, or put Messi as a false nine, drifting here and there and everywhere, and maybe we would have got by that way. Maybe we're looking at using false nine a lot more this season. I don't know what the tactics are, but yeah, if we'd got Messi, maybe that would have made a huge difference, and it would have taken pressure off the search and the need for a second striker. To think, if Messi's here for 3 years, Sergio will probably stay 2 or 3 years, and together, yes, they might be getting old, but together they'll be able to, we'll do more than get by, and then maybe next summer or the summer after we get another younger striker to start taking over from Serge. So are we saving ourselves for next summer when some big fish are available? Maybe Neymar's available, maybe Mbappe's available, Haaland's available, to name 3. Maybe are we saving ourselves for next summer and we're going to spend big? Or are we waiting for our next manager to make the big purchases for the future? And that, guys, that's a video for another time. That's a totally big thing. And I will just say, Pep hasn't signed a new contract. He hasn't signed a new contract. Would you, as the board, entrust him to spend a load of money when he might not be the guy that's here after next summer? And is that why we're waiting? Who knows, guys? Let me know what you think in a comment section below. And if you're new to this channel, please do us a favour, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. See you around, Blues.